Good evening, everyone. Apologies for the late stream. I had a bit of update to do, so I do apologise. We have missed a fair chunk of Oh no, we've missed the start of the race. Apparently, no, we haven't. I'm not drunk, I swear. With 10 seconds left of this session, ERT Kieran currently leads the way. It's round 6 of the EML Premier 2 Season 4. And we are at the Paul Ricard circuit in the south of France. The very vibrant blue and red track. And we are on board with J.R. Slinky, as he's going to be one first to finish his lap. The NLRE iChalk has finished his. He's in P3. That's where he will stay for now. But with pretty much the whole grid coming across the line, Slinky stays where he is, I believe. One YCN coming up to the line. He stays where he is. Alpha Romeo of Sven stays where he is. QRT Fleddy fourth. The team leading at the top of the standings at the moment. I see someone else. I think it's Jacob Age Ruin stays 14th for IRT. Bryn Mike has invalidated. Steve comes across the line. Can he improve? Yes, he can. He goes up to P9. Is there going to be any improvements at the top? Kieran goes even faster, 29.6. He will stay there. One Elliot jumps up to P8. CPI Bunty, is he going to be coming across the line? He is. CPI Yuri also finishes. Bunty jumps up to P9. And that is qualifying over. Wow, what a qualifying session that was. Apologies again. Apologies all. Apologies. So there you have it. ERT Kieran takes pole position. Man on a mission this season. That might be possibly his third or maybe fourth pole position. I think off the top of my head it's about a third or fourth. He is absolutely flying at the moment in this season. VRT Dirk finishing up P2 and QRT Jerome takes P3. There's the rest of the grid for all of you to see, respectively. Everyone there. We'll head into the race where I've been told it's going to be dry for about half the race, and then we are predicting to see a little bit of rain. How much rain will that be though? Will it just be inters? Will it go full wets? That's something to be seen. What is going on here, by the way? Can we just have a look at the pit crew all standing behind each other in every single garage? That's not right. Just another rubbish thing in this rubbish game that rubbish Codemasters and rubbish EA won't fix. We'll just add it to the very, very long list that we've all given up on. But yeah, it's just me tonight, Lesty. I'm your commentator. No Ivan tonight, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll be back next week, but we will we'll wait and see. Here we go then. 5 lights. And away we go. Kieran gets a very good start, and I believe QRT jumped VRT Dirk. Maybe not. We're going to go back and have a look. QRT Jerome has managed to get past the VRT driver, who's under a lot of pressure here from the iShort. No, he's not. It's iShort who's under a lot of pressure. Sorry. Fleddy and Max Power both after him, and there's an Aston Martin making a move down the inside of Fleddy. There's a bit of contact there which pushes Fleddy wide. Oh, and YCN looking like he's really struggling for a grip there, as he seems to lose the back end, and he's lost that position which he's just gained through a bit of contact, and everyone's going to be very, very tight. Paul Ricard known to be quite a DRS train of a track. So strategies here are going to be very interesting. You've got to get those strategies right if you want to come out and win this race. And Kieran has started on those medium tyres, and he's already got himself out of the DRS zone to Gelram behind him. So he's looking to go fast, looking to make those mediums last to the rain. Slinky has gone with the same idea, as well as Tico down there, the other ERT driver. So ERTs both going mediums, taking the risk of going on the shorter life tyre, and hopefully it makes it to the rain as they all come down to complete lap 1 of this 27 lap race. And everyone apart from Kieran is all tucked behind each other's rear wing. So we're going to keep an eye on the gaps. Elliot and Yuri having a bit of a fling at the back, going backwards and forwards. But for the moment, everyone's staying still. Obviously no DRS on the first 2 laps, so as soon as that DRS opens, we will start to see a lot more overtakes along this back straight, very long back straight, and down the home straight as well. So it's going into the turns is where you want to be, getting your car ahead of your rival. Everyone's still staying tucked up behind. I think Tico managed to jump Mike. Obviously those mediums are going to be slightly faster than the hard tyre. Neutral, I didn't see where that penalty came up, but he's already got a penalty. That's not great for him. So early in this race, he's going to have to take that penalty all the way to the end and try not to get any more. There's something going on here. Sven and AJ Wuhan. He's round contact with the Alfa Romeo car, and AJ Wuhan is now back in P20. Here we are, Kieran at the front. He is really putting his foot down, getting going here. Over 3 seconds gap. He's looking strong, but is he going to go too strong on those tyres? He needs to make them last to this rain period, which we believe is coming about halfway in this race, which will be around lap 13-14. And now watch. Here we go. iShawk. Is he going to be the first man to make a move on this back straight? No, he's not. Dirk does go quite deep though, and this is going to give iShawk a better run, but actually Dirk, look at that straight line speed. Pulls away from the Haas. No chance at all. Slinky back here on the mediums. Not making too much progress. If you compare the sort of progress in gap that Kieran has made at the front to Slinky. Slinky's sort of been stuck there in the middle of the pack here, and he really needed to make the most of those first 2 laps without the DRS, because he's just in a really, really long DRS train that goes from 2nd place all the way back to P12 as ERT Kieran continues to set faster laps. Yep, a lot of you are seeing Kieran has dipped completely. He is 4.2 seconds ahead of the rest at the moment. But we are expecting rain halfway through this race, so keep an eye out for that. He needs to make those mediums last to that rain period, if the rain is to come. We don't know. It's what I've been told, so we'll keep an eye. Let's go back to iShawk, because he might have a chance at Dirk. He's getting very close, but Dirk seems to have really good straight line speed here, and in fact I think Dirk is really pressing and pushing Gelram now, but Gelram seems to have good straight line speed as well, because off of that turn he seems to have gained a few tenths on Dirk there. and that's really taken the opportunity away for another lap at the least, as Dirk continues to be pressured himself by iShot, but he does have his teammate Max Power behind, so he's got support there if needed. Badgerman says there's a reason why he is on meds though. Do enlighten us, Badgerman. Go on. Give us Kieran's secrets. We all want to know. He's got some dirt. I can feel it. He's got some dirt there. Thank you everyone for joining the stream though. Appreciate you joining me this evening, especially as I am on my own. So if you can, for me, like the stream, subscribe to the League Racing TV channel, and flood the comments. Give me some comments, chat to me, talk to me, what we feeling. Any predictions? Is Kieran just going to run away with this one, or is someone else going to pull through, probably from this DRS train? We're not even seeing any overtakes down the DRS section, down the back straight. Everyone got DRS, so it's making life very hard for any progress here. Thankfully, leaders of Prem 2, QRT, are in a relatively good spot right now, P2 and P6, so they will be happy with that. It's JR, Juventus, who are pressuring them at the top, but they currently sit 10th and 12th in this race. A long way to go, so no need to panic for those guys. Just got to get their heads down. Oh, as we see a little snap at the back there from Nick. Is that going to give Baki any chance? I don't think it is. The DRS is still there, so no chance at all. We are seeing an overtake though from one Elliott around the outside of neutral, and he's gonna make that stick. Nicely done. I think AJ Ruin also made a move behind on Mike as he starts to claw his way back up, and here we go. These two having a right ding dong. Neutral comes back. He's got the better straight line speed there, and he's managed to overtake that Aston Martin. There is a yellow flag. Cam Rules of Red Dragon Racing has had a little spin. I'm keeping an eye on the gap to iShawk up at the top with Dirk. That is getting pretty tight. We're just going to keep an eye on these two, because these two are giving us the action right now. It's one Elliott versus neutral. He's virtually pushing him along, and as you can see, neutral is flashing. That ERS battery is pretty low right now. He's just pushing him. One Elliott's literally pushing him, and he's trying to go around the inside. He's had a bit of a snap or correction of line. He's decided to sort of just give that one up there. We'll leave those two for now to have a little ding dong, and we'll go back up to this sort of tense battle here that iShawk is in. And as you can see now, Gelram has actually pushed himself out of the DRS zone for Dirk, so this is bad news for Dirk. He could be in the firing line to iShawk, but we have seen in these early laps that Dirk has got some pretty good straight line speed, so he might be able to defend, but I don't think he's taking those two turns very well, and iShawk is going to get the invitation to move himself up into the podium places. Nice and easy, no DRS for Dirk. The straight line speed won't be enough there. The DRS is just too powerful, and there we go. iShawk takes P3 for the first time in this race, as Sven now picks up a penalty. That's both Alfa Romeos with a penalty now. Not good. Not good. Gillian, sorry if I'm saying that name wrong. Gillian, good evening everyone. I'm predicting a podium for Bunty. Here's hoping. Bunty, who is currently in P8 for CPI. As you can see, Elliot and Neutral are still having a right good ding on back there in 14th and 15th. Yeah, Bunty's in the mix. I'd say, I think Yuri's at CPI Yuri, who's had a bit of a spin. Yeah, CPI Yuri struggling. Qualified P20 and is now struggling for some grip. Baki and Nick. Baki moving himself up ahead of the BNLR driver. So we've got a little three-way fight here between Baki, Nick and Tico. Let's keep an eye on these guys. I think Dirk is starting to struggle, guys, because he has dropped out again of the DRS. He's on the brink. He's very much on the brink right now. He might be struggling. He's struggling to keep up. So we'll keep an eye on that one. As we see, there we go. Oh no, Nick's had a spin. Was it contact? We didn't really see that. It sort of happened off camera. And he's now got some ground to make up after that one. So it's quite flat at the moment. We know this is what Paul Ricard's circuit is like. The DRS just carries everyone around until people start dropping off. And we're seeing Dirk and iShawk are both trying to keep up with the one ahead of them. Gelram just keeping iShawk out of the DRS for the moment. Max is clinging on to Dirk. So let's go forward. QRT Freddy, how close can he get? You can see it's just not making any inroads at all. And it must be frustrating as a driver sitting in this, because you feel like you're really putting your foot down, as Nick's already made his way back and taken the place back from Tico. So maybe Tico's struggling on his mediums. It looks like he might be, because one, Elliot has said, yep, I'm gonna follow that white Haas. And he moves himself up into P13. But yeah, as I was saying, it must be frustrating for drivers. You're really trying to push and try and eke out every little bit of time against the car ahead of you and behind you. But the DRS just makes it so hard. Just makes it really, really hard to do anything. So it's a long game really here, as Yuri picks up 3 seconds. But then quali is also important here. It means quali's very important, which you want to be right up there. As Dirk didn't seem to hit that apex. He seemed to sort of cut that one. So Dirk's struggling a little bit. Are we going to see a swap for the VRT guys? Let's just go with them. Maybe not. I think Dirk still has the DRS. So he's fine. One YCN is getting very close to Fleddy though. Sniffing that exhaust on the Mercedes, who is flashing as well. One YCN has seen that and he thinks this is his chance. Fleddy forcing him around the outside. They're side by side here. Forcing him around the outside. One YCN has no choice. He's got to go round. He's flashing himself. So that battery is now low, still side by side. Fleddy has to give the inside up eventually, and one YCN makes the move. That's very, very well driven from those two. And one YCN took his chance as soon as he saw that battery light flashing. And he's one of few that have managed to make any sort of moves here, as we see JR Slinky coming into the pits. So if there is rain coming, JR Slinky hasn't made it to that rain period. And what's he going to put on? He's going on Inters. Ah, actually, I lied. He has. You can see the rain. But has he gone too early? Driver's going to have to be careful now. This is where your race could just be gone in a flash. One mistake in the rain and you're done. We haven't seen DRS disabled, as Max Power is now overtaken Dirk. Dirk might be struggling. Oh, he's gone a little bit deep there. Drivers will really be feeling it now. These tyres won't be healthy. And all this rain coming down is going to make things a little bit interesting. You've got quite a few teams close to each other. The VRT guys, QRT, the one team guys, they're very close together. It makes it difficult, as well as the Alfa Romeo guys, it makes it difficult because someone's going to have to either go a lap early or someone's going to have to go a lap too late. Otherwise, if you double stack, your second driver is really going to suffer. Kieran decides not to come in. There we go, Dirk is coming in, so he's going to go first. Max Power is going to have to wait. As the Inters go on, Backy also now coming in, so both JRs will be on the Inters. We're seeing more and more of them come in. AJ Wuren, Tico, both in as well. Is Neutral in? No, Neutral's gone past. Then Yuri, Ivor, sorry, Mike, come in. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if they're working right now. But the guys that have stayed out on these drives, there you go, DRS disabled. It is Inter's time. Everyone out there right now who didn't pit will be pitting this lap. I can guarantee it. Apart from maybe Team 1. Oh, someone's had a spin. Someone had a bit of a spin. Is it an Alfa Romeo? I think an Alfa Romeo is struggling. So is Dirk going to jump the rest here? Because the rest are going to be suffering now through this rain. Dirk might possibly jump BNLRE, iShawk and QRT Gelram. As we see the race leader, Kieran. Race gone to plan so far. Last to the wets. And now he needs to put those Inters on and take those to the end of this race. He's built up a very healthy gap. Good gamble, paid off. Both QRT guys are coming in. They're having to stack. Both of the one drivers are coming in, having to stack. Fleddy and Elliot are going to suffer here from stacking. Fleddy actually looks like he got out pretty smooth. Although he's behind Bunty. I don't think he was before. Dirk has there. So Dirk dropping down to P5. One Elliot has also dropped. As we're seeing time penalties flying about now. Oh, as one Elliot has a massive snap there. Got to get used to these tyres, warm them up. Can't be going full throttle so early doors. Got to get into your groove on these tyres. So if you come out the same way you've just been driving on the dries, it's not going to end well. You ain't going to be sitting on this track. You are going to be over in one of those barriers. Although in places here, the barriers are quite far away, so you can get away with it fairly easily. Badgerman has revealed both VRT drivers were put on mediums for this exact reason, to gain the advantage of being on the faster tyre, making them last, and giving them the best possible chance of their results. And Kieran, who has made that gap and is still gaining, it's 8.4 seconds. He is loving it out there. No pressure, in the zone, can just take himself on a smooth ride round this Paul Ricard track in the south of France. Going to plan so far for ERT with Kieran. Tico, don't think he made as much progress as ERT would have liked. That might be fair to say. It might not. But he currently sits in a respectable 15th place. So let's see, there's penalties galore around him, so if he can stay penalty free, it could be a chance for him to jump a few positions at the end of this race, as Max Power is really putting some pressure on Ice Short. Some of these guys will not like driving in these wet conditions. Not many drivers practice wet driving or wet conditions. Most people just sort of dive in on it, just drive with the experience of it coming up in a race. So this is where some people can be caught out. Durkers seem to have dropped off this battle of the podium positions. This is the main sort of battle at the moment. Unfortunately for Kieran, this season he hasn't had much screen time because he's been so far ahead of the rest. It's just not what the viewers want to see. Just a car going around the track over and over, all on its own. But he does a hell of a job of getting the car around the track at a very fast speed. So he's in the driving seat. He can let the rest scrap it out for the rest of the points. We've seen one Elliott has taken a spin. He's now dropping down a few positions. He's going to join back in 15th. So there you go, Tico up a place for ERT. Oh, what's happened back here? Sieb, where are you going, sir? He's had a bit of a spin. We're going to see a lot more of these now in these wet conditions. Has Sieb got any damage? Looks like he's alright. Looks like it's just a little spin. There's someone else having a spin. I think it's Sven towards the back of the grid. Bunty also now picks up a penalty. Unfortunately, Gillian, Bunty will not be winning this race with that penalty. I can tell you that now. Anyone with a penalty, not going to be winning the race. Unless you're Kieran, because you have that gap. I believe this is Max Power's debut as well for VRT. So what good showing Max Power is doing here on his debut race for his VRT team. Have to take my hat off to good performances, and so far he is producing for his team. There is a yellow flag. I don't know who it was. There was a yellow flag, but nothing has changed. So the field is definitely a lot more spread out now. Drivers not having as much joy in the wets as before. Oh, and we have a retirement in the pits. We do not like to see those, and that unfortunately may lead to penalties for Sven. but he is our first retirement of this race. Could be the only retirement. We'll have to wait and see. We still have 11 laps left of this French Grand Prix. At the moment, Kieran 10 seconds ahead of the rest. QRT Gelram, BNLR iShawk and Max Power are the ones fighting it out for the final podium place, or fighting out for the podium places, I should say. It's Tico. Tico is now crashed out. That's on the side, and that is going to be a full safety car. Let's see if we can get a view of that one as Yuri is coming around. He has lost it in a bizarre area. I think his car just disappeared as we got there. So a few drivers going to jump in and get a fresh set on. Elliot has actually gone onto full wets. Full wets for one Elliot. Let's see, Yuri, what's he doing? Full wets as well, so we think it's getting wetter out there. Not sure the views of Badgerman right now, and Kieran, to be honest. Kieran, I feel like, would be fairly annoyed as he's actually just picked up a 3-second time penalty as well under safety car conditions, because his teammate has crashed out and caused a safety car and got rid of his gap. That massive gap he had built up, gone like that. And he's going to go in for a new set, and I wonder if this will be wets as well, because everyone else seems to be going in. Gelram's not going in, iShawk's not, Max is staying out, Dirk is staying out. None of the others up front are going in. Wow, this is very interesting. And Kieran is going to come out just behind YCN. Wow, that was tight. YCN put the burners on there and just snuck himself out in front. Wow. So that we know Badgerman is engineering Kieran right now. So is that a Badgerman call to take on the wets? We don't know right now, but that's what's happened. So we've got nearly half and half right now, and this will be very interesting to see. Is it wet enough, or is it too wet? Thank you everyone again for joining the stream. Appreciate you all. Appreciate all the comments coming in. I am reading them as we're going through the race. So I appreciate you joining me and watching as our 10 teams battle it out here in the French Grand Prix. I have noticed there's about 25 to 30 of us here. If you could all just like the stream, it would be amazing. You would be making my evening. So do that. Please like the stream. It'd be much appreciated. And while you're there, subscribe to League Racing TV, where we are always streaming EML. And soon to be streaming EML PC. The first ever EML PC competition. With the top teams. You've got your Shazoos. I think WOR might be involved. I don't have the whole list, but I know NLR there as well. So that is happening as well. So subscribe and you'll get notified for when those PC live streams are up and running. You don't want to miss that season, because there's going to be some insane drivers in there, and we're sure to be in for some really cracking races. So get subscribing to the channel and like the stream, guys. It'd be much appreciated. At this moment in time, who's winning this race? Tell me, who is going to win this race? Because it's been blown out the water now. Kieran was nailed on to be winning this with that massive 10+ second gap. But now it's anyone's game. We've got drivers on wets, got drivers on inters, a fair amount of drivers with penalties. Who's going to be winning this race? Comment now and I'll have a readout of some of your predictions of who's going to take the checkered flag. At the moment we are just waiting as Yuri joins up to the back of the pack. We are waiting for the Red Dragon Racing drivers of Mike and Cam Rawls, who both went on to wets and they've now gone back onto inters. So is that a sign? As we're now seeing, I think we're seeing, the guys on the wets are thinking, it ain't wet enough. They've taken a risk and they've decided it's not worth taking here. Yep, and they're all back onto inters. We're all back onto inters apart from Kieran. Kieran is the only one now on the wets. He may still get another lap where he could possibly change onto the inters, but it's going to cost him a bunch of places. It might be at this point damage limitation for Kieran. How his race has just flipped on its head. And this is what racing can do. It can throw up a heap of scenarios. Can just catch you off guard. You can take a gamble and it's either going to work out amazingly or it's just going to leave you in the dumps. Nathan is saying Kieran Bottle. I'm not sure we could class this as a Kieran Bottle. I think that would be slightly unfair considering a safety car was brought out. But he's not going to get another lap to change onto the inters if he even wanted to, or even if Badgerman wanted him to, because this safety car is coming back in. And we're going to have 7 laps of racing here. And now you're seeing straight away, as soon as the safety car coming in, notice came up at the top of your screens. The drivers are having to try and warm their tyres up as much as they can, because they will be ice cold after doing what, 4 laps under the safety car. So that's not gone well. Who's gone off? Cam Rawls right at the back has gone for a scenic drive. If you can stick to the black stuff, Cam, it's much better on the black stuff. It's not much to see out there on the on the outer stretches of the track. So Gelram will be the one to get us back underway. And he's gone. There we go. And we're back underway in France. Are we going to see any moves on the start? We might be seeing Dirk overtaking his teammate. Kieran is certainly overtaking someone. He's overtaken YCN already. See Kieran already making the moves. Oh, but he's struggling for a bit of grip. We'll keep an eye on him. But Dirk and Max Power, both VRT guys, don't want to be slowing each other up, because here comes Kieran. Max Power's outbraked himself. He's coming back on the track. He's got to be careful here. His teammate is literally battling Kieran. Oh, that's very, very tight, and Kieran manages to jump both the VRT guys. So maybe wets were the way to go. We're seeing some yellow flags as well. I believe one Elliot has probably taken a spin somewhere, because he has now ended up at the back of the pack. And VRT, I think, have tripped themselves up there. I think Max Power was on the back. VRT was on the back of Max Power, but now it's the other way round, as Kieran is now overtaken iShawk as well. Maybe the wets were the way to go. Kieran is absolutely going for it. There he goes. He's getting very close to QRT Gelram, who seems to be all over the place with grip. Is it full wet? Look, he's having to slow down because Gelram just doesn't have the grip. Oh, but so does Kieran. It's a real struggle for these drivers out here at the moment. Oh, it's all over the place. This is a rough watch. Look at them squirreling. And there goes Kieran with his straight line speed. He is past and back into P1. Badgerman, the engineer, seem to be taking the credit in the comments. And Kieran leads. He has a 3-second time penalty, but there's still plenty of laps here where he could cancel out that deficit. I think Nathan JB, you might need to be eating your words, my friends, because Kieran is looking like he doesn't want to back down from having this race win. He doesn't want this stripped away from him. And what a drive he's putting in as one Elliot overtakes Yuri further down the pack. And he's already, looked at that, he's absolutely flying. He's nearly got his 3 seconds already. So were the wets the way to go? I'm a bit confused. All the others on the wets decided it wasn't wet enough. Everyone's just carrying on, and we're seeing people really struggling. There's a yellow flag. Is that Yuri? Yeah, Yuri's had to cut the corner. He's got a massive 10-second time penalty. Inters, I think, are really, really struggling. I think it's too wet. But is it too late for anyone to pit? If you pit now, are you going to be able to make the gap up again? Is someone going to take that gamble? It doesn't look like it. And Kieran is just going to run away with it. He's 5+ seconds. He's gonna make that gap up again. He's gonna get that whole gap back that he had before the safety car. As we're seeing yellow flags at the back, the only thing that could scupper him up once more is another safety car. Not that I'm commentator cursing that at all. We don't do that here. Definitely not me anyway. But Nick and Elliot having a bit of a ding dong at the back. Elliot's been in a fair few fights, so is Nick actually, to be fair. And Elliot comes out on top on this one. There's a few drivers out there that are sort of going around very shakily, very tetchy at the moment. Just trying to survive to the end, just get the points for finishing the race. As we see the fights for the podium positions resuming once more as iShawk is pressing QRT Gelram. QRT still looking fairly good. I think they'll be happy with what they've got at the moment. Fleddy will be jumping Bunty with that penalty. Gelram will be currently getting P2, although he's got to do a bit of defending if iShawk is going to try and make a move, as Slinky is the latest driver to pick up a 3-second time penalty. Nathan has said, fair play to Kieran indeed. I think we've all got to put our hands up. Mike is having a bit of an issue at the back. He did say at the start, as I was finishing an update, I did send everyone to Mike's stream while they waited, and he did mention that he didn't like racing in the wet, and he felt he wasn't very good in the wet either, so he won't like this. He won't be enjoying this. He'll want to get to the end and see the back of this one, as we're seeing the IRT guys are actually coming in. They're going for wets to see if they can jump some others on pace. I mean, Kieran is really putting down the marker, but is that due to just being on the wet, or is that a mix of being on the wet and Kieran's pace? Because we know Kieran, he's got bags of pace under that car. No matter what track he's at, he always seems to have a really clean setup, and that car just flies. So let's keep an eye. They've come out in 16th and 17th. We'll keep an eye on Seeb and AJ Wooen as this podium fight starts to heat up. Guys getting closer and closer. The VRT guys are getting close, although backed off a little bit now. iShort though, closest he's been for a while on Gelram. But it's hard. These places, you can't really make the moves you would in the dry now because the grip's not there. Look at Gelram. He's virtually Tokyo drifting around the track at the moment. And iShort is pretty much pushing him as well. It's a really, really rough time for everyone. They just want to get to the end of this race in one piece. But for these guys up here, they want to make a podium of it, not just getting to the end. And so far, so good for them. Someone said only wet. Only wet, no talent. Wow, put some respect on Kieran's name. Look at him go. 15.3 seconds, always going up at the moment. Keeping an eye on Seeb's gap to Yuri's 4.2, 3.7. Oh, June's crashed out. Is that too late? Or is he retired? No, he's retired in the pits. That's fine. That's both Alfa Romeos though, and they will probably both be getting a penalty for that, because we do not like to see that in EML. iShort is now struggling himself, so he's going to have to start looking in his mirrors. As Dirk is coming, and he knows he's starting to run out of time if he wants to get on that podium. He's right on the back of the house now, really pushing. Is someone going to make a move in these last 2 laps? Because the VRT guys, I think they'll be pleased, but I think they would be saying to themselves, what if we just made a move and grabbed a podium? So let's find out. Let's wait and see with the laps coming up. Seeb is already on the back of Yuri, so he's taken Yuri. What position can he get up to? I can't remember. I think he pitted from around 13th or something. So it's not much to make up. So Seb and AJ Wooen both trying. I think AJ Jacobs struggling a bit more. Seeb seems to be on it with this wet tyre. AJ not making the progress that he would like right now, and the IRT team would like. And Stephen is in the chat. Hello Stephen, thanks for joining. My good old pal, always following me everywhere he is. Constantly. He's my shadow, may as well be Shadow Stephen. So here we go, down the back straight. iShort, ERS on for Gelram. Who's going to make a move? Is anyone going to make a move? Max Power on the back of Dirk as well. Short is going to go for it. He's going to try and outbrake him. This could be tight. It was. iShort didn't want to make any contact there. Don't want to ruin your own race, and here he goes. Here's the move. Up the inside. Has he got him? Just about got him, I think. Jelram's going to fight it back, though. He's not going to give it up that easy. It's all kicking off towards the end of this race. It's actually starting to brighten up as well, and I think the rain is slowing up. So the wet tyres might not be the ones now. So these inters might come into play a bit more now, actually. But the last lap has begun because Kieran is 21 plus seconds ahead. And what a race he has had. Oh, there's a move. Didn't see that coming. Dirk poking his nose up the inside of QRT Jelram, and Jelram is struggling. He is being pounced on, and he's in a VRT sandwich now, second to fourth within about half a lap. Oh, and Max Power wanting to have a look as well, not going to have the space as Jelram is now looking to go back up the inside of Dirk and take that position back. He thinks better of it, and he's going to wait, see if he can get back that podium place a bit further down the track. You can still see the rear tyres are lighting up, and here we go. I will jump to Kieran as soon as I can because he deserves all the plaudits for his race today. But here comes Max Power. These VRT guys seem to have a good bit of straight line speed. It's going to be round the outside. He's got the inside, and he's up ahead of the QRT man. Great move from Max Power on his VRT debut. Superb. Third and fourth for VRT now. Can Dirk make it one better and go up to P2? We'll have to wait and see. But here's the man of the day, of the hour, ERT Kieran. Massive gap. Safety car came out. We didn't know if he'd be able to come back, and wow, has he come back. He's blown the field away. Kieran, hats off to you. Deserved winner today, that's for sure. He takes the win here in France. iShort is gonna hold out for P2 for BNLR, and VRT Dirk is gonna take P3 with Max Power, his teammate, taking P4. QRT Jelram falling at the last couple of laps down to P5. Shame for him. He had a really good race. YCN takes 6th. Fleddy taking P7. 1 Elliott takes P8. Bunty in P9. Backy rounds out the top 10. Slinky takes P11. Nick in 12th. IRTC in the end only managed to get back up to 13th. I think the rain sort of just eased off a little, which scuppered any chances of getting any higher. So it's P13 for him, his teammate AJ Bowen. Jacob in 14th. Camrals picking up P15. Yuri, not his day today for CPI, 16th. And Mike bringing it home in 17th. And we have the two Alphas, Alfa Romeos, retiring along with Kieran's teammate in the McLaren retiring. Driver of the day has been given to 1 Elliott. He was involved in a fair few battles and finishes with a nice P8, I believe. So well done to him. That's another double top 10 finish for the One Racing team, who at the start of the season we didn't, well, personally I didn't think we'd be seeing them up there too much, but they are proving me fairly wrong. So well done to them. But this man takes it all today. Kieran, fastest lap, pole position, and the race win. It's the triple. He smashed it out the park, and well done to him. He is firmly keeping ERT alive, and they definitely do have a chance of possibly grabbing the title in Prem 2. They just need a teammate to be getting up there with him. So there it is. Kieran takes P1. Congratulations to him. BNLR iShort takes P2, and VRT Dirk taking P3. So in the end, a France track that doesn't produce much great racing actually got quite entertaining there, and we had a really nice race with some real cracking moves and some respectable racing there. Unfortunate for a few who didn't have the race that they would have wanted today, but that's the way racing goes. You're not always gonna have your best day, unfortunately. Thank you everyone for joining me. I appreciate everyone being here this evening on my own, so it's nice to have everyone chatting away in the comments, so I do very much appreciate it. Again, make sure you subscribe to League Racing TV. Every subscriber helps this channel grow further and further, so please make sure you do that. Like the stream as well, I appreciate it. It shows that you've enjoyed the commentary and the race that you have seen and listened to this evening. In terms of Prem 2, you will be seeing us again next week, and next week we head to Zandvoort, the coast of Zandvoort in Netherlands, and what a race that could be. It's quite tight. You can see a lot of moves happening there, and it's going to be a quick, fast-paced race. One that isn't the easiest, so we need to get setups sorted to make sure everyone's sticking to the track. So yeah, hopefully Ivan will be back with me next week. If not, you might see Mike in it, you might see someone else come in here, but I will be back here next week. So do join me again, 8 PM for round 7 of Prem 2 this season at Zandvoort. And thank you once again for joining me, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening and stay safe. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.